Shall I start, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. So, class, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
So,
Good evening,
what is
ma'am.
yes? Can you tell me what is poverty?
State
Ma'am,
of being poor.
Yes,
not having enough money to meet basic needs.
yes, very good. The people not the state where people are not able to afford the basic amenities of life, that is poverty. So, can you tell me what is vicious cycle of poverty? Yes, class.
It is a cycle in between the cause and effect are interconnected. And for example, um, mm, education
Yes.
and you can say
Yes, you are correct, Shalini. Lack,
employment.
yes, lack of education, or you can say unemployment. Okay, there what happens? The cause and effect, they both leads to poverty. Like if there is lack of education, that is a cause of poverty, and as well as the effect of poverty. So today let's study about the causes of poverty. Such causes. Okay. There are various causes of poverty, but the very first and the root cause that of the poverty in India is the low level of economic development under the British administration. So, when the British ruled our country, at that time the level of economic development was very low. So, this is the very root cause why poverty is in India and why poverty came to India and still existing in India. So, can you tell me that how the British administration it affected the economic development of India? How there was low economic development during British rule? Why? Anyone try? Why there were low economic development during British rule? Okay, so what happened due to the policies that British government had? Due to that, what happened? The handicraft and you can say the textile industries, they both were very badly ruined. The reason was such that the handicrafts, the goods that were prepared in India, if the people wanted to export them, then there was a lot of taxes levied by the government. But when there is an import from the foreign countries of the cheap and finished goods of Britishers, so and that very less taxes were levied. So what happened due to these situations? In this market, and people started buying them, and the handicrafts and the textile industry that was of India, their price was high. So due to that, people did not buy them, and uh, continuously this whole process led to the eradication of the whole industry. The whole industry got ruined. So the British policies, it was such that the textile industry and the handicraft industry, the handicraft traditional handicrafts of our country, it got ruined. So these are the traditional handicrafts which was earlier there, and slowly it got ruined due to the policies. And this was the textile industry. Now, this low growth rate, it persisted until 1980s. Till the 1980s, this low rate of economic development it existed in our country. And what happened due to this low growth rate? There was a very less job opportunities in our countries. A lot of people, they were educated, still not able to get job. And due to job lack of job opportunities, what happened? Low growth rate of income was there. Of course, very obviously, if there is no job, if you're not having a job, then the income will be less. So if majority of the country of the people in our country are not having job, so overall growth rate of income of our country, it got low. And not just that, another problem happened there. It was the growth rate of population. The population, it rose. There was a massive rise in the population of the country. So the low growth rate of economy and high growth rate of population, they all together, it led to low per capita income. So can you tell me what is per capita income?
Ma'am, income of per
person.
person.
Yes, very good. It's an average income per person. Like if we take example, like if we are taking an area, there will be taking we will be taking the whole income of that area, and we will be dividing it by the total population of that area. So an average income of per person of one single person will be calculated through that of that particular area. So that average income of that one person is the per capita income. So obviously the overall income of the country was less, the population was high, so obviously the per capita income, it was less in our country. The per capita income, it became less. So this was the main and very root cause of poverty in India. Now, second cause, let's move to the second cause of poverty. That was Green Revolution and industrialization not being enough. Okay, Green Revolution, it happened in our country, and industrialization, it also happened in our country, but it was not enough. But let's first dig into what is Green Revolution and industrialization. So, give an attempt. What is Green Revolution and industrialization? In chapter 2, we have studied about it. Any idea you all have what is Green Revolution and
Rapid
industrialization?
growth in agriculture.
Okay, very good. That is Green Revolution and industrialization.
The same was for industrialization also, rapid growth in industries.
Very good, Shalini. Very good. Very simple language you have explained that. Very good. So Green Revolution, it was a revolution in the agriculture sector of our country. There what happened, modern techniques, modern methods like irrigation facilities were there, modern irrigation facilities were there, HYV seeds were used, tractors were used. So modern methods were used, and due to those modern methods, there was an increase in agriculture produce of our country. For that same industrialization, there was a massive, great number of industries were established in our country. So that whole process, it was known as industrialization. Here in Green Revolution, we have this term here, HYV seeds. So can you tell me what is HYV seeds? What it stands for?
Yielding varieties.
Yield varieties.
Very good.
High
Very
yield
good.
variety.
Yes. HYV seeds, they are high yielding variety seeds. They are very resistant to insects or pests, and their yielding capacity is very high. So these seeds were used during Green Revolution. And now what happened? This Green Revolution and industrialization, they both led to a very great number of job opportunities. They gave a very great number of job opportunities to a lot of people. Okay, but what happened? The impact of Green Revolution, it was restricted. Not all. It wasn't spread throughout the country. It was very restricted to some of the states. Can you tell me which states were majorly impacted by Green Revolution?
Ma'am, Punjab and Haryana.
Yes, very good. Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, Western Uttar Pradesh, and Chandigarh. These were the areas which was majorly impacted by Green Revolution. But can you see how there are very most of the states, they are deprived of the impact of Green Revolution, the positive impact of Green Revolution. So there was job opportunities created due to Green Revolution, but only in these areas. So what we see, that Green Revolution, it was not enough. There was, if there would have been a massive widespread of that revolution, then maybe poverty, the state of poverty of our country would have been entirely different. But that did not happen. So what we see, that Green Revolution, it was not enough. For industrialization, what happened? Earlier poverty was just a rural phenomenon. Okay, we used to see that there are poor people in rural area. But due to industrialization, what happened? A lot of people from rural area, they migrated. They migrated to the urban area. And the massive establishment of industries, they were not still enough that they can absorb all of these job seekers. Okay. So what happened? These people who were migrating from rural area, they came to urban areas, but they did not get a job. So they started working as rickshaw pullers or vendors. Okay. So this industrialization, it led to the traveling of poverty from rural area to the urban area. Earlier it was a rural phenomenon, but now it's an urban phenomenon as well. So this, what we see here, that how Green Revolution and industrialization, they both created impact in our country, for the poverty elevation, but still they were not enough. Now let's move into the third cause of poverty, that is failed land reform measures. Do you know what is land reform?
Yes,
Anyone?
ma'am.
Yes. Tell me, what is land reform?
Ma'am, it was decided by government to divide land equally to every individual present in state, and this land reform was only done in southern states, I guess in Kerala, but in north it was not. The states were not able to achieve this land reform strategy.
Very, very good. Absolutely correct, Monica. And very well framed. You have told it. Very good. What happened? Land reform. It is an attempt where the lands, they are redistributed. Okay. There is huge income inequality in our country. So to remove this, land resources, they are redistributed among the people. Okay. So that the unequal distribution of lands, they were removed, and the lands were equally distributed among the people, because land is a very important resource in our country, and it is not just an important resource, it's also the major cause of poverty, because the main occupation of our country is agriculture, and agriculture is performed on land. So land is very important for our country. But what we observed, that many policies, they were made to redistribute these land resources in rural areas, but due to the like the implementation, lack of implementation, not proper implementation of was done for this land reform measures by the state government. And due to this lack of implementation, a very great opportunity was lost. If the land resources, it would have been divided or redistributed equally, or in a manner which was required, then maybe the scenario of our country would have been different. Because as we know, land is a very important resource our country. So lack of proper implementation is another cause why poverty is still residing in our country, and it's a reason why poverty is in our country. So this is another cause of the poverty. And that's all for today. These three reasons we have discussed, these three causes of poverty. Let's move to the recapitulation for the class. Okay. Today we studied about causes of poverty. In that, we first discussed the first cause, that was low economic development under British colonial administration. We discussed that how the policies of British, it ruined the handicraft and in the textile industry of our country, right? We also saw that due to that lack of job, not very much job opportunities was created. Then income of our country became less, population also was high, and they all came together and led to low per capita income. So the main cause of poverty was low economic development under British colonial administration. Then the second cause of poverty was green revolution and industrialization not being enough. We saw that how green revolution and industrialization, they both created job opportunities, but not in an amount that was required. Okay. Then third cause of poverty was failed land reform measures. A lot of policies were made for land reform, and they were not very effectively implemented by the state government. So due to that, the poverty still resided in our country. So these three causes of poverty we studied. Any doubt, any confusion in this? Anyone? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then let's move to the evaluation. Okay. First question here is, name the three causes of poverty.
Ma'am, low economic development during British era. And
Very
then
good.
Second was Green Revolution
Revolution.
and industrialization. And third was forgetting.
Land
Land
reforms.
reforms.
Ma'am, land
yes,
reform.
land reforms, ma'am.
Okay. A green revolution and industrialization, just by saying green revolution and industrialization, it will be a wrong answer, Tanu. You have to mention that green revolution and industrialization not being enough. Green revolution and industrialization, they created job opportunities, but they were not enough. Okay. So you that statement, you have to mention that particular word. Also for
Yes,
land reform measures, they were an attempt, but they failed. So failure of land reform measures. Okay, very good attempt, Anu, very good. Now let's move into the next answer. Next question. So sorry. Yes. Explain how poverty, which was earlier a rural phenomenon, became an urban phenomenon as well. How? Anyone? Anyone who wants to give the answer? Earlier, poverty was a phenomenon. It was observed in rural area, but now it's observed in urban area as well. Why? What's the reason behind it?
Ma'am, in search of job opportunities, many people from rural area moved to urban areas, and there they usually took the job of street vendors or street hawkers. So, so through this poverty became a urban phenomenon as well, and they moved to urban cities because the industrialization process accelerated in urban areas, and for the better opportunity of job they moved there. So in this way the poverty moved from rural to urban area.
Very good, Monica. Exactly, this is the answer. Due to industrialization, people from rural area, they migrated to the urban area. But industrialization, it was not able to give enough job opportunities and not able to absorb all the job seekers. So from rural area, that phenomena came to the urban area. Very good. Now the last question. Why land reform measures failed? Why it failed?
Ma'am, because of lack of implementation was not done properly. The government didn't do the implementation properly. That's why.
Yes. The government did not. They didn't take it very seriously, and they didn't implemented it very nicely. So due to that, the land reform measures it failed in our country, and the poverty it still recited. Very good, very well framed answer. Now that's all for today. Note down your homework. Find out 3 anti-poverty programs launched by the government. Noted down the homework, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So thank you, class.
Thank you, ma'am.